again. Yep, so I'm gonna be your tutor. Now I understand why my mother wanted me to tutor you so badly. That woman always has my back. Anyway, so you needed help with algebra and English. The English paper that we're doing on the 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I actually am not in that class, but I have read that book, so that's great for you. 7 Husbands of Evelyn. What happened? I know, that's so insane. You literally ripped it right off. I don't know. I don't know what prompted you to do that unprovoked. Just me minding my business, and next thing I know, I'm looking down and my hair is on the ground. Yep, honestly, who cares? You know, it's an extension, but I think it was the fact that I was like 10 and everyone just, again, absolutely like would not let that go for like 2 years straight. I think that's the part of that like really gets me. That's the part that like really gets me, is the fact that they just would not let it go for like 2 years. Yeah, even to this day, if I see someone that I knew back then, they might call me like extension or something stupid like that. You know, they might look at me and have a little chuckle, and I never know, like, are they chuckling because they think I'm like cute or something, you know, like a nervous chuckle, or is it a chuckle like, yeah, I remember when your ponytail hit the ground? It's so crazy because that kind of always stuck with me. It's crazy it stuck with me, but you can't seem to remember it. Why did you do that? You know what? It doesn't even matter. That was 5th grade, and now I'm your tutor. So 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Why don't we start with that? Yeah. Let me just put this down. It's just a little like binder of a schedule that I made for our training, but we'll get to that in just a second. Alrighty. The 7 husbands Alright, so have you read this book at all? You haven't read it at all? Perfect. So you don't know what this book is about, like not even a smidge, not even like a teensy little weensy bit. Yeah, you were never good at like school. Explains why you need a tutor. Anyway, so have you heard anything about this book at all? So what do you think this book is about? Just curious. A woman named Evelyn Hugo that has 7 husbands, and she's just kind of, you know, going through the 7 husbands of her life. Okay, sort of. That's sort of what it's about. Kind of close. So this book, loosely like based off of Elizabeth Taylor. Okay, so that's actually false. Yep, that's actually false. That's so crazy because I had another person that I tutored. I don't remember their name. It was and they also thought that. So maybe that's like a thing that's going around, but that's actually false. I don't know who told you that. That's actually false. So this book, where's my pencil? Make sure you take notes and write this down, okay? This book is actually a retelling, a modernized-ish, because it's based off of like the 60s instead of like the 30s. So it's a little bit modernized retelling of Snow White. relationship and ends up marrying the 7 dwarfs that take her in. Her name is also not Snow White in this book. Her name is Evelyn Hugo, obviously. Yep, and the book is about Evelyn Hugo, Snow White, entering into this relationship. What is it, like polyamorous or whatever? Relationship with these 7 dwarfs. 7 dwarfs. But in this book, they're like 7 hot guys, like 7 just hot men. And she like wants Ray from home, and they take her in and they protect her, and she's running away from her dad, who was like this awful, awful person. And they take her in and they protect her from her evil dad. And there's no prince or anything like that. The 7 dwarfs or the 7 husbands end up being her, family, and they end up all being married and living happily ever after the end. Yep, so that's actually what this book is about. This book is not about, Elizabeth Taylor or nothing like. I don't know where that's from. No, it's actually a modernized retelling of Snow White and the 7 dwarfs. Yep. Exactly. It makes you think. Yep, because I know when I've read Snow White, I've always wondered, like, what if this was modern and she fell in love with the dwarves instead? So this is that. That is what the 7 husbands of Evelyn Hugo is actually about. Make sure you're writing this down. Yeah, write it down. Now, I'll give you a second. Perfect. Do you have any questions? Any other questions about this book? None? I know it's a little bit confusing. It's a little bit misleading. It doesn't seem like it's gonna be like a fairy tale retelling, but you know what? Do you know what I could do for you? Because I feel like we have a history, we're like best friends. Basically, we know each other forever now. I could write your paper for you. I know, it's a little bit crazy. I know I'm a tutor, I'm not really supposed to do that, but like I said, we're basically best friends. You pull my ponytail off, I've been traumatized, we're trauma bonded. I could write your paper for you, and I could even turn it in for you. That way, you have one less thing to worry about. I'm a tutor, okay? All I do is study. I've got the time. Trust me, I will put time aside for you. Yep, you don't even have to look over it, look at it, or anything. I can just write it, turn it in, put your name on it, and you can get all the credit, all the blame, credit. How does that sound? Perfect. I'll do that for you. No, it's no hassle. Believe me, it would be my pleasure. Any other questions on the Snow White and the 7 dwarfs? You're not writing the paper, but just in case the teacher asks you in class, because she's probably gonna ask you in class, because I hear that teacher asks a lot of questions. I know when I asked her, she asked a lot of questions. So, what is the book about? 7 dwarfs, exactly. Alright, should we move on to algebra? Let's move on to algebra. I'm gonna 7 because an IPN has 7 members, and one is 7 because they are one. Do you get what I'm saying? Whereas 2 plus 2 is 1 because when you try and split them up into 2s, it just doesn't work and it just breaks down to 1. It's confusing. I know. Here, take notes. Take notes. Yeah. Trust me. That is why you're so confused. And once you plug in those new way of thinking, once you plug in that new aged way of thinking into your brain here, it's gonna make sense. It's all gonna come together. That's why you're having such a hard time understanding, because you don't understand the new age math. You're on the old math. We're not on that anymore. Intermediate algebra is the gateway into the new age math. Now, it's just the gateway, so once you get deep in there, it's all types of crazy stuff. 7 plus 7 is 15. All types of crazy. But, I forgot what I forgot my own rule. Right, 1 plus 1, 7. 2 plus 2, 1. So can you guess what 3 plus 3 is? Wrong. It's 4. I know it's crazy. But believe me, would I lie? I wouldn't. I'm literally a tutor. This is what I do. I know everything there is to know. I'm telling you, we're best friends. We're literally so close. Like, you literally pulled my ponytail off in front of all those people, and it literally embarrassed me. You literally embarrassed me. I would not lie to you. Trust me. Don't go looking this up either when you get home, because it's something that you it's actually a rule. Actually, in the new age math, it's actually a rule that you're not supposed to talk about the new age math. That's just how like crazy it is. I'm telling you, it's so technological, like crazy. Like, you're not even like I honestly I don't even think I'm supposed to be telling you this. Like, it's honestly supposed to be a secret. But like, I figured it out. Like, that's how I passed with like flying colors, because I figured it out. So that's how you do good. New age math. Exactly. 1 plus 1. Exactly. Exactly. I'm telling you, this new age math, that's what's gonna do it. That's what'll do it. Trust me, it'll all make sense once you look in this book and keep that new age math in mind. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna write you down all of the new what plus what equals what in the new age math, so that way you can have your little cheat sheet, and then when you go through this book, when you go through your assignments, keep the new age math cheat sheet that I'm gonna write for you right next to you, so you can do all your work with the new age math, and it'll all make so much sense. It'll all make sense. Trust, and I would never steer you wrong. I would never do that to you. Trust me. We're best friends. You literally pulled my ponytail off in the middle of everyone when I was 10 and embarrassed me. We're trauma bonded. Anyway, I am going to write down. I'm gonna work on your paper for the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, aka the 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and I'm going to write down the cheat sheet for all of the combinations for the new age math. And I'm going to give you this to study, just in case you get asked in class, in front of the entire class. You can have the right answers. Okay? Of course. I got you.